have come on the road. All of them will have come in games in which they had the lead.
And the last two in which they really had control of the game.
Meanwhile, Emmitt Smith tonight putting his name in the record book. Fastest 2 touchdowns by any NFL player since 1970, and maybe before, as a little shovel to Ismail, and that's next to nothing. The scoreboard clock actually became official in the NFL in 1970, so that's why we can only say since 1970 it's the fastest 2 touchdowns. I mean, conceivably it went on well before then, but we don't have the records to verify it. Here they were, Emmitt with a 63-yard scamper, fending off the rookie right at the end, and then on this play where he winds up fracturing his hand, small bone in his hand, on that touchdown, a 24-yard run on back-to-back runs, but that ended his night. Now Garrett almost had the ball knocked out of his hand, hits Warren, and Warren is bumped out of bounds, but short of the first down with 3:03 to play.
Defensive lineman like Chris Coleman love this type of situation. And he's a smart player. Look, he's going to knock the ball out. And Garrett does really a pretty good job of just holding on to the football.
4th down, they have to go for it with no timeouts. 4th and 6, the ball at the 29-yard line. Dallas's last chance to stay in the game right here. And they don't. A happy 49th anniversary to the McCombs.
Yeah, it is, and Jason Garrett hasn't really even looked downfield, maybe but once or twice. And you know, again, I go back to the end of that first half, Al, and the bad snap by Stepnoski. It gave the Vikings a chance to get back in the football game. And we talked at halftime about, you know, would he bench Jeff George? Wouldn't he bench? You know, this team is just too loaded to hold down for too long. And the Cowboys gave a valiant effort, especially after losing Troy and Emmitt. And their defense held up as best, I think, as they could. If they would have had any help from the offense in the second half, this could have been a much tighter game than it's turned out to be.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Ford. And he has the presence of mind to not run out of bounds and keep that clock going. Tackled by Ecubon. Meanwhile, for Dennis Green, I mean, just think about it for a second. 1992, he gets the job. He's in his 8th season. No coach. None of the 31 has had his job in the NFL longer than Dennis Green. Bill Cowher was hired by Pittsburgh 11 days later. Boomer, do you know who number 3 is? I mean, think about this for a second.
All right, I'll think about it.
Green is 1st in tenure. Cowher is 2nd.
Now with the same team.
Yeah, with the same team. With the same team.
So that would take Holmgren out, right?
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so with the same team.
Same team. Parcells is out. I mean, guys have coached longer with different teams. 2nd down and 4. This is Mo Williams. And he picks up a 1st down, and that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So you want to be a millionaire?
Hang on. You know, can I call home?
No, you can't. And you better do it before the commercial.
How about one of these fans out here? Can I ask?
Back.
Right.
Well, they'll run the clock out here with a couple of kneel downs. We're also, Emmitt Smith apparently feels that he may have fractured the hand on the first touchdown. There was a stiff arm here. The face mask on that play right there where he gets into Kenny Wright's face mask. That was the first touchdown. And then it might have been exacerbated on the next run where his right hand comes into play with some contact as well.
Wonder if he got his fingers stuck in the face mask.
Could be. Could be, but there's a man who had a record-breaking night going. I mean, he was ahead of Walter Payton's single game pace. He had 140 yards with a few minutes left in the first half. And the next thing you know, he goes home with a cast. Aikman goes home with a concussion. Irvin goes home with his future in doubt. The Cowboys go home with another loss. The Vikings have a 3rd straight win. And we go to Foxborough. Where we'll see the Patriots next Monday night. Drew Bledsoe, Terry Glenn and company.
And again, I go back to the fact that Drew Bledsoe, not too much has been written or said about the New England Patriots. I think most of the attention has been paid to teams like St. Louis and also Detroit. And rightfully so.
And this will end the game right here. Leon let them begin to practice. A few years ago when Michael Irvin was suspended, somebody said, when can Michael begin to practice again? And Barry Switzer said, as soon as Al Michaels says Malibu Kelly Hayes thanks him for his spotting, which I've just done. So now Leon can begin to practice. That's about the only good news for the Cowboys right now. Because Chan Gailey, whose evening started quite gaily with a 17-0 lead.
And he came out firing tonight. He was not conservative early on, but injuries, you lose your quarterback, things change. Improvise and adjust and do the best you can, and you try to hold on. And there go those bombs again.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
what is...
Isn't this my favorite moment? 27-17. In a moment, back with the play of the game.